All right. Hi, my name is Quincy Branch, President and CEO of The Branch Company. Well, The Branch Company, simply put, it's about family. The Branch Company is about legacy preservation. The legacy is about, growth, development, advancement, connections, resources, all of those things combined. You talk about The Branch Company, we're ultimately an entity, an organization that's really looking to partner with independent agencies across this country that are firm in their belief that you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into this business. Obviously 20, 30, 40 years in some cases, and maybe not even more. And our main goal, our main objective is to, one, make sure that your name stays up on that building and that your goodwill that you've built up in the community for all these years stays intact. As a fellow independent agent, I get it. I've been in this industry now almost 20 years. My father's been in this industry for 30 plus years. So we truly understand how an independent agency works and how it operates. And it goes beyond just the operations inside the building. It goes out to being in the community and that goodwill and that name. So for me, one of the things that is truly important and key in this is really, like I said again, preserving your legacy, but also sustaining the growth, but maximizing that growth. I think as an entity, as an organization, we bring a lot of tools and resources to the table from a technology standpoint, from access to markets, to branding, to marketing. And then also, we all know that in our industry right now, there's a serious crunch in finding talent. So within our organization, within our agencies, we do a great job of making sure that we're bringing that new talent in to continue to keep that pipeline going. So combining all of those things, I think really makes a partnership with TBC attractive. It makes it valuable, that you can count on what we say we're going to do, what we say we're going to bring to the table. We bring it to the table, and again, we're partnering with you. We're not taking over, and I think that's key to understand. I think some of the first things we talk about when we look at a partnership from a merger and or acquisition standpoint is really learning. Really sitting down and really truly learning and understanding what that agency does. Obviously, we've done our due diligence prior to that partnership. We've looked at paperwork and financials and interviews and everything else. But I think something is to be said about when you really truly get into the day-to-day operations of the business and really get out and meet clients, and really sit behind the desk with employees and really see what are they doing on a day-to-day basis. So that's really our first and foremost step, is to really make sure we have a very good understanding of what makes that agency unique, what makes that agency tick. And then from there, it's really all about us saying, okay, what do we bring to the table as TBC from maximizing of resources and efficiencies in management operations to help just grow. It's really one of those things that, okay, we're going to minimize the bad things and maximize the good things. And so I think from that standpoint, again, I have been in this industry for almost 20 years now, very active on the national and local levels, on all fronts, within our association as well. So bringing those partnerships into play, bringing those carriers to the table, connecting with those, political and business leaders is going to be key. And that's really one of the biggest things, making sure that we're maximizing technology in the agency. Whether there's an opportunity for improvement in efficiencies in agency management systems or just overall operations is going to be key. And we're going to take a look at that. Probably the second part of that is really taking a look at the marketing and the branding. Really making sure that we're getting out there and either refreshing some stuff or really seeing if there are some low-hanging fruit opportunities that we're just not seeing or we're not maximizing to get back out there in the market. I think one of the things that I've found and that we see over time with these particular partnerships is that sometimes you necessarily don't see the forest for the trees, if I can be respectful in saying that, is that, again, you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into this agency. This has become your baby, for lack of better words. And trust me, as a second-generation insurance agent, owner, I understand that wholeheartedly. I've been through it, and so I understand it and can relate to it. But in that same vein, sometimes, like all things, and we use that kid analogy, you had to let the bike go when the kid took off the training wheels. You had to let the restraints go a little bit when you gave the kids the first time the keys to drive the car without you. And then more importantly, when that kid went off to college and you left him on that college campus, your heart probably shuddered and you probably really, had some anxiety. But at the same time, you knew in order for that kid to grow, you had to let go some of the reins. And so a partnership with TBC is really just that. It's really not necessarily you stepping out of the life of the agency, but it's more so of you just saying, okay, hey, I'm going to trust TBC, Quincy, and their leadership to sort of say, okay, I'm going to let go some of the reins and allow this kid to grow.
My name is Aubrey Branch, again, chairman of TBC, the branch companies. I've been in the insurance business now for 30 years plus. Started out on the life and health side of it and decided to get my license in the P&C side of it then, and realized how lucrative it was, but not how much I really loved the business. But then when I got into the business, I realized how much I love it, and not so much about the money part of it. And what happened here in Vegas, we were booming at the time, maybe 10 years ago in Vegas, with all the construction that was going on. We had 25 people strong in the business at the time. My son was one of them, Quincy was that one, but he was in the benefits side of the business. So we had two different houses, the commercial side and the benefits side. Quincy was on the benefits side of it. And when that took place, we were doing quite fine. But at that time, we were getting ready to build the World Center, I think, on the Strip at that time. And we realized then there was a problem because they called us up and said, we need you to go out and remove your people from the job and pick up your last check. And we thought we had did something. It was nothing we had did. It was just that the project was being shut down. And that's when we knew something was wrong in that valley at that time, when the market just changed completely. And when it changed completely, the next thing I know, everything we can do to start to cut back on saving expenses or cutting expenses and trying to save that revenue, we ended up going from 21 individuals working with us to 8 people working for us. And that was a blow. And that's when the reality check came in that something has been, we don't ever want to go through this again. We end up utilizing all of our funds to make sure that we survive through that tough time. And we survived that tough time. And I promised myself I never want to put us through that situation again with a company that we had, and what can we do. And that particular time, Quincy was there and we started that benefit. He started the benefit side of everything. He bought that particular company from us, and we started to make that transition with that coming in. And it was a great transition at that particular time for us to do. And it's been now, I think, 5-7 years plus now in the making that we have done this. And when that came about, now I realized that I can start to step back and let that transition take place. And he always continued to tell me that I bamboozled him into this business because he never wanted to be in insurance. He wanted to do something different. And I coached him to get his licenses and stayed on the back end side of it. Quincy is a very meticulous individual compared to me. That side of him, I could see that that's what he needed. We need to make sure that we had everything in process. People, product, process, and then we deal with profit. And if you can put those things in place there, I knew it was set. And with my expertise and with the relationship that I had in the Valley, and they realized that I could take this to another level, but take it through this youthful individual that was sitting with me, I didn't see no way for us to try to do that any other way. And my partner, Joe, he agreed with it at that time because he's at that age of retirement, coming in on his own. He felt the same way. We need to be able to transition that on to someone else and make sure we had a perpetuation in plan. And that perpetuation was the best thing that could happen for us.
Well, I think one of the things that makes us stand out when it comes to a potential partnership with TBC, one, I go back to it again, is saying our commitment to your legacy. Our commitment to saying that, one, in an independent agency arena, and I'm pretty sure all of our partners that are currently in place and potential partners understand this, that name, that sweat equity, that goodwill means something. And it actually means a lot, probably more so even the book of business that the agency is maintaining. So to know that we're not coming in and we're not going to smack the branch company on your wall, we're not going to smack some other agency name up there, to me, I think is important. And then outside of that, bringing in that sense of youthfulness, bringing in that interjection of understanding that we know how an independent agency works. Like I said again, I've been running agencies for the last 15 years now. I'm a second generation insurance agent. My father has been doing it since I was, 18 years old. So independent insurance agency is pretty much all I know. I understand it wholeheartedly. So having that commitment to know that you're not partnering with someone that doesn't understand the day-to-day operations of what goes on in an independent agent is important. And then last but not least, I think the confidence to know that this partnership is all about growth. This partnership is all about making sure that the agency continues to not only survive but thrive. It's going to be key. So having those three commitments from someone like myself to someone like you as a potential partner is important. So the type of support that you can expect to get from the TBC, the branch company, is tremendous, and it's one of the also other value adds when it comes down to a partnership with us. So not only do we bring the expertise from a management operational perspective that I would lend to the table, again, we have in-house IT, we have in-house accounting, we have in-house marketing and branding, we have in-house HR. So we bring all of those services to the table that you may or may not have currently that can now help streamline the operations of the agency. In most independent agencies, and I'm pretty sure our potential partners and current partners can say the same, that usually you have one person that's wearing 4 or 5 different hats. So the office manager is not only the office manager, but they're probably the lead producer, they're probably the main service person, they're probably also handling a little bit of HR, they're probably also doing a little bit of accounting. And so to be able to once again say a partnership with TBC means that 75% of what we call the busy work will now be regulated and delegated to professionals that understand that are dealing with that every day. And now we truly free up the staff of that agency to do what they do best, and that's service and sell. So when you talk about looking at that aspect of what you get when you partner with TBC, I think that's one of the immediate effects of a partnership with TBC is that you realize that you're not just getting one person, you're getting a family, you're getting a team. And then on top of that, you're also getting access to resources from our other agency partners. So now as an agency partner located in one state, you're now connected to all of our other agencies that are a part of the TBC. So now you can tap into that industry experience that maybe you don't have, whether it's commercial lines experience or whether it's personal lines experience or whether it's benefits experience. So now you know that you're not just doing this alone from a staffing standpoint. You now have an access to a team of people that are all committed to making sure and ensuring that we all grow.